just dropped in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, directly comparing body composition and physical fitness between transgender women and cisgender women. Now, after 1 to 2 years of hormone therapy, key gaps in muscle mass, strength, and endurance shrink dramatically, often matching cis women levels. This is real data from real studies, not opinion. But critics are already spinning it. Today, we unpack what the research actually shows, why it challenges old narratives, and what it means for trans athletes fighting bans. Evidence first, so let's dive in. What makes this study powerful? It's a comprehensive review of dozens of peer-reviewed papers tracking trans women through hormone therapy, testosterone suppression plus estrogen. Now, some key findings. After 12 months, trans women's muscle mass drops 5 to 10% on average, and total body strength falls 10 to 15%, and hemoglobin, the oxygen carrier, normalizes to female ranges. By 24 months, many metrics like push-up capacity, cardio fitness align closely with cis women athletes. This isn't cherry picking, right? They controlled for age, for training status where possible, and they focused on post-puberty transition most relevant to sports. Real-world proof? Well, trans runners and swimmers post-HRT perform mid-pack in women's divisions. I mean, they're not dominant the field like they would pre-transition. Critics, like Professor Alan Williams, whose prior research on retained advantages has largely been debunked by newer longitudinal data, claimed issues like self-selection bias or poor study quality. But this paper directly tackles that. It prioritized longitudinal studies tracking the same individuals over time, and it's showing consistent HRT effects regardless of the starting fitness. And now pre-transition gaps? Yes, but they close predictably. Training controls? Absolutely better than past reviews, with many studies matching activity levels. Effort and strength tests? Standardized protocols used. Bigger picture? Critics ignore 20 plus years of accumulating evidence. HRT does erase most performance edges per world athletes' own data shifts. Now, the go-to claim, right? Skeletons don't change. Heights, limbs, shoulders, those stay male. And that's true. Hormones don't shrink bones post-puberty. But does that translate to unbeatable edges? Rarely. I mean, in track, taller stride helps, but it's really technique plus training that win. And you can see that in a lot of cis tall sprinters. Swimming? Well, reach aids, but trans women like Lia Thomas still place mid-tier after HRT. And now data shows skeletal factors explain less than 10% variance in most events. Muscle power and lungs matter more, and those do feminize. Cycling and rowing? Frame advantages fade with normalized power output. And the bottom line here is that there's no inherent gotcha. Sport-specific rules, open categories, HRT minimums handle these outliers fairly. This study hits hard amid bans. Utah's HB 257 blocks trans girls from school sports, citing unfairness, but ignores data like this showing parity post-HRT. Nationally, Trump's policies echo this, pushing exclusions. Yet, trans athletes aren't sweeping medals. 99% just compete locally for joy, health, and not for glory. And the mental health crisis? Bans spike depressions and suicide risks in trans youth. Now, the fair policy here is to verify HRT compliance, blood tests, in a case-by-case scenario for elites, but open divisions for all. Evidence supports inclusion here, not erasure. The study strengthens the case. Hormone therapy levels the field enough for fair women's sports. Critics' old debunked takes, they simply don't hold. We need to demand policies based on current science, not on fear. Now, what's your sports policy fix? I want you to comment that below, and you can sub for daily trans rights and news breakdowns. Shorts daily and lives weekly. Share to fight the bans. We're winning here with the facts.